What's up, guys? I know it's been a minute. Free agency came fast and furious, and every time I thought to do a video, another move came. So I feel a little bit more comfortable doing a full thoughts video. Obviously, we made a lot of moves, so bear with me. But I can tell you that Dan Morgan definitely stood at his word that he was gonna add to the defense, fix the defense, and obviously my concern after all these flurry of moves is the number one wide receiver and just more weapons for Bryce Young. But I think we've done a fabulous job addressing the defensive needs, and obviously you still have the draft and a lot of things can still happen with trades and whatnot, but who knows if these moves will actually work out. But I do have a little bit more warm and fuzzy feeling than I did last year. And welcome to the QC, to the new guys, and the old guys signing for new money. J.C. Horn getting the bag and deserving it. 4 years, 170 guaranteed, which is 25 per year, I believe it is. So, and that's pretty standard for a lockdown corner. And we did a really nice job of securing that, and we know how effective J.C. Horn is, just like locking down one side, even though I'd prefer J.C. Horn to travel or be able to travel maybe with these new additions. Maybe that'll help. And I think it could benefit us greatly if he's able to travel, but if he doesn't, he can lock down one side like he has been. But I'm super happy we're able to get J.C. Horn locked up. And then you got Travia Morig. I don't want to mess up his first name. I think I already did. But signing to a 3-year, $60 million deal, 51 guaranteed. The former Raiders safety was one of the top rated in the free agent class. Something that stood out to me was 104 tackles, 2 interceptions, and his ability to just be a tackling machine in the run game and be a spy in the pass game and just be all over the place and be a bruiser is really nice to see. And us being able to address it with one of the top safeties on the market, that felt really, really good. But 104 tackles will travel anywhere, that is for darn sure. Pat Jones, the second linebacker from the Minnesota Vikings. Love this one too. It's more of a depth move, but he had a career high 7 sacks with Minnesota last year, and you know how successful DJ Wadham was with the Panthers after he was able to recover from the multitude of injuries. Our defense was not good last year. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, but our defense felt a little bit more respectable when DJ Wadham returned to the lineup without Ashawn Robinson and Josie Jewell and those guys, and the fact that we're getting Derek Brown back. And then it just, yeah, that's definitely the warm and fuzzy. And Pat Jones II, excuse me. I think it's a really good fit. I think we need to add to the linebacker still, but I'm very excited at the possibilities. It allows guys to stay fresher and allows him to build off the career high with some familiar faces as well. So that's very important there. We also added to the linebacker position 1 year contract for Christian Roseboom, former Rams linebacker, had 135 tackles in 11 games last year. Didn't get off to the greatest of starts, but kind of came on just like Bryce Young. So And there is a lot of familiarity with our new outside linebacker coach, AC, from the LA Rams. So I love that familiarity there as well. I can't remember the contract details on that one, so I apologize. Trayshawn Wharton, 3 years, $54 million, 30 guaranteed from the Kansas City Chiefs. Career high 6.5 sacks, and being beside Chris Jones, he was able to flash more, and I think that could be the same for him next to Derek Brown and those hog mollies in the middle. And if you can flash on a defense with Chris Jones, and you're saying, "Dang, who's that 98?" which is what I did a lot after researching the tape and looking at different things. And he feels like a good run stuffer as well, which is a big key and a big bugaboo last year for the Carolina Panthers. Run defense, so that is fantastic as well. And I think these contracts are pretty darn good value. And Brant Tillis and company have done a really nice job working and maneuvering the cap and giving us chances to add quality players at every level. You've also got Bobby Brown the third, another former Los Angeles Ram, 328-pound nose tackle. Talk about a bruiser, run stuffer, hog molly that feels like it would be a perfect fit next to Derek Brown. And Derek Brown coming back is going to be a vital piece to our defense, as you can tell while mentioning every single one of these defensive signings and extensions and all that stuff. Derek Brown is the centerpiece, and I think continually adding centerpieces around Derek Brown, who set some records the year prior before his injury. It just feels like this guy could be the limit in getting back to a top 10 defense. And guys that have continuity and familiarity with both the defensive staff and Evero, our defensive coordinator, obviously. And that contract, 3 years, 21 with $7 million guaranteed, and all of these guys that I'm mentioning, 24 to 26 years old, so they're pretty much in their prime, which gives you a lot of things to build on, and they have stats to back it up. A lot of them may not be flashy, but Trevon Wharton had a 8.2 pressure rate among defensive tackles, which is second to Milton Williams, who we thought signed with us, but flipped to the Patriots after he got a lot more money. And I'm really actually happy that we did it the way we did. We backed out. We didn't break the bank, even though I think Milton Williams is an amazing player. But with us not paying Milton Williams the $26 million guaranteed, you got three really quality players, and you checked a lot more off-season boxes that you needed for your roster. So I really appreciate that. And then you've got, let's see, some offensive additions. I can't believe we were able to re-sign our entire offensive line, Brady Christensen, to a 1-year, $2.7 million deal, just because of his pure versatility. It's insane. Can play every single position, and yet the Houston Texans continue to trade their offensive line and their Pro Bowler and not adding to the offensive line. I think that was a big miss for Houston, and a really good deal for us in so many different ways, and keeping our trenches, our hog mollies on the offensive line intact. Talk about continuity and familiarity and all of that, it can only get better for Bryce Young and company. Because of that, I think we could still maybe restructure Terrell Wharton's contract to maybe help us figure out trade wise for outside or speed weapons, or whether we will just address it strictly in the draft, even though that doesn't necessarily give me the warm and fuzzies because of our lack of success, shall I say, history of drafting wide receivers. Not putting Xavier Legette in that category yet. Just they haven't popped off right away. We did have success with Jalen Coker, the undrafted free agent, so maybe the luck is turning around in that aspect. Not sure, but speaking of wide receivers, we are going to restructure Adam Thielen's contract for him to be able to get more money, get a raise. And I think it's well deserved, well warranted. Adam Thielen was our best, most reliable, and most safety blanket for Bryce Young. And I think that continuity and that connection is undeniable, and I'm really glad Adam Thielen is back, and he really deserves his raise because he was the only thing we had pretty much in the wide receiver core that we could really trust every single big down, every single big fourth down. So that is well deserved. We also added a new punter, Sam Martin, 3-year deal, 1 year, $3 million deal, to replace Johnny Hecker, who went to the Tennessee Titans on a 1-year deal as well. He had 25 punts inside the 20, so I think that could really help flip the field position. May seem like a small thing, but it is a really big thing, and he is an Appalachian State product, so coming back home of sorts, and he's been very effective. So I think that's an underrated move, because special teams usually doesn't get all the flowers, but it gets all the doom when things go wrong, and I think the Panthers have done a nice job in the special teams aspect of the team so far. You also added Rico Dowdle, which I was really surprised. I think that is a dynamic 1-2 punch between he and Chuba in the backfield, especially for Rico on third down. And with our offensive line, I think you could add a lot more creativity and a lot more pizzazz to the offense because of the fact that Rico Dowdle put up 1,300 plus yards last year, and he didn't get a strong look until the latter part of the season, and I think he had a career high against the Panthers last year. So it's amazing because it's only a 1-year deal, and I think it's only 2.75 guaranteed. It could go up to 1 year 6.25. So that is super great value for a very dynamic duo. Chuba and Rico sounds like a great comedy duo, but a running back duo that hopefully we can come up with a great nickname for them. But I really think the only thing, you can always add everywhere, but linebacker depth, linebacker and wide receiver. You've got to get Bryce Young more weapons some way, somehow. And I know Dan Morgan's going to do it, but like I said, the trusting of that process in drafting isn't necessarily there for me yet, but just because of our track record doing it. But I know he's working to find him weapons, and I think Rico Dowdle is a really nice one. I think re-signing Tommy Trimble was really nice, because I think the chemistry and the connection was starting to get there for Bryce and Tommy later in the season. So I think that's great, but there's got to be more there, and I think we all know that. Let's see, did I forget any? I don't think so, but if I did, I will add it in the next video. But I'm really happy with the free agent class so far. I don't have the deep dive analysis that a lot of Panther social media and YouTube channels have, but those are just my thoughts, and thanks to all of those content creators and things of that nature. I've been watching those videos to kind of get a more informed opinion on the new guys, and I love it so much. So thanks for that. Oh, we also did sign Dan Shashina, special teams ace, wide receiver depth. But he's a bruiser. He's a speedster. So doesn't sound like much, but again, another important thing to think about. But I really like what Dan did this offseason so far. Can't wait to see add more in April in the draft, and hopefully even before that. But as always, keep counting. Go Panthers. Dan Morgan certainly stuck to his word, and now let's see if we can carry the momentum of last year to be the surprise team for many this coming year, and just track towards the playoffs. As always, keep pounding. Go Panthers. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Helps out a lot. Thanks, guys.